All right, everybody, here we go. This is a banger of an interview for the premium members out there. I haven't talked to Jay Dyer since we got to finally meet in person over in Tennessee in the Reawaken America tour realm. And at that point, we were having some really great private conversations. And he told me that he was going to be a part of the next Tucker Carlson original. Fast forward to about a month ago, and I actually started seeing commercials not only of Jay Dyer, but Jay Dyer as Klaus Nutschwab. And I thought to myself, wow, this is going to be great. Within the week of that release, the Tuckins goes off the air as the most popular thing in all of mainstream news, which is just like, boom, gut punch. Then they start leaking, and who's they? Is it the Tucker crew? Is it the Fox News crew? Who's giving this stuff to Mediaite? Videos in which he talks about his disappointment with Fox Nation, which he was literally carrying on his back, and anybody that was subscribing to Fox Nation was doing so for the Tucker Carlson original documentaries and the Tucker Carlson long form interviews. So I thought it would be great to get Jay Dyer's take on what happened with the Tuckins, whether or not that documentary, Let Them Eat Bugs, is still available. Is Fox Nation even still a thing? What he thinks about the entire media sphere right now, especially with the Durham report coming out and the left still having their talking points and the right still having their talking points, and literally zero resolution, all on the heels of Bilderberg 2023 this weekend. A lot to discuss, Mr. Dyer. So how are you, and how in the hell do you get contacted by Fox News to become a part of Let Them Eat Bugs?
Thanks, dude. Glad to be back. It was really cool to meet you in person finally, and to see you as an actually incarnate being, not a discarnated internet screen face. So yeah, we had a good chat. Got to hang out, do some interviews. That happened because when I was going to Austin, we do live events, and we did one in Austin not too long after I met you in Nashville, and we got down there in Austin, and there was a producer of Tucker's who was a big fan of the stuff that we put out, and we met up with him, and he said, "Hey, we got some ideas. Want to throw in a Tucker special, and we'll film it while you're in Austin." So when we were down there, we did like 3 things with Alex. So the whole week was in studio with Alex, and then we did our live event, and then Tucker's crew came and filmed a bunch of stuff, and then we did the Man on the Street with me as Klaus in the Austin Park. And the funny part about that was there was so many more sequences and interactions that we filmed that were really, really funny. I know that he had to cut it down to about 9 or 10 minutes to be the first part of that documentary, but I wish that the rest of it was available, because there were so many good interactions, and probably not to anybody's surprise, about every one of the Austinites ate bugs, and so everybody was happy to do it. Yeah, man, I'll eat your bugs, dude. Which was sad, because I think it was only one person that turned away the bugs, which to me suggests that some random weird guy dressed in a bald weirdo from space coming up to you, offering you bugs, and like everybody's willing to do it. If you just say it's for the planet, it's for the earth,
And I mean,
it.
you're in, just so everybody understands, you're in the full-on Star Trek garb, baldy cap on top with a microphone, like chasing people around with a little dainty walk, with a little pep to your step. And people are signing up.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was like a little mini Jamie Kennedy experiment where we, did this thing, and they kind of felt like maybe it was a joke at first, so maybe that's why they were willing to do it. But that was kind of an idea that I didn't really think they would take seriously. I was just batting it back and forth with one of the producers, and he was like, "Actually, that's pretty funny. Why don't we? I'll get a spacesuit off of eBay. Like, you can wear it. I'll buy a ball cap." I thought he was joking. I didn't think he was being serious. And then when he shows up to the event, he's like, "All right, I got your costume. You ready to put it on?" I was like, "What? Are you serious? You really did get a bald cap and a spacesuit for Klaus?" But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And there was this whole segment that was really serious, where we did a whole lecture on the history of oligarchic control of food, and that got whittled down to like 30 seconds. But that was actually like a 45-minute lecture on the history of how the elites utilize food as a form of warfare. But anyway, I don't think that literally, that segment, it's not like Klaus called in and was like, I want you to fire the Tucker. This was over the line. That's what I was playing with in my head, was that I accidentally got Tucker fired. But no, I think that, and I don't have like any super inside info per se. It's just that I think Alex is probably right with the analysis that he just said too many over the line red pill things, and then it was just kind of mounted up. And there was just a point where it's like, all right, that's enough. We can't do that anymore. So I think that's what happened in my view, but I don't have any inside line on that.
Well,
but
I feel
it
like
was cool that it
you're
happened.
absolutely right. Like, I think it was more than one thing.
Yeah.
I think Alex was actually correct in pointing out that the speech, I think it was out at Oxford, where Tucker Carlson broke down good and evil as more than an abstract idea and laid out essentially what was happening as evil may have been the final straw. Again, that documentary. The thing is with those documentaries, a lot of people have to understand, they don't quite understand what they're getting with the Tucker documentaries. You're getting something that's 15 to 30 minutes long max as a documentary. These are little mini docs. They're not powerhouse hour, 2 hour long InfoWars documentaries or Jason Bermas documentaries, but they're there in that bite-sized fashion to kind of bring people into the information. I think one of the other reasons that they got rid of the tuck-ins is it's actually election season right now.
Yeah.
And he not only was being, I think, more fair to Trump than anybody else in exposing the actual corruption surrounding him, but he's also bringing on RFK Jr., who in many ways has gone beyond Trump when talking about the deep state, the Department of Defense, especially in regards to the hate and lie shot. So from what I'm reading in the media, and of course there's conflicting reports, at first they were saying he was only making like $1.9 million a year. Then it was $20 million a year. That's more than likely what they were paying him. But from what I understand, they have him under contract until 2025. In other words, past the 2024 elections. He comes out, he gives his little spiel, his speech, says, hey, I've been in the business 30 years. We could tell you some stories. There are certain things you're not allowed to talk about. That's a real thing. But we're going to do a show here on Twitter. Now, Musk immediately comes out and says, we have not cut a deal with Tucker Carlson. I think he did that purposely to show that he's going to be doing this on his own. Also, from what I understand, he was able to take his two main producers with them and possibly some of the other workers. I think there's still about 7 or 8 of those people back at Fox. But he was smart enough during this time period to realize he was number one, build a home studio, right? And basically put himself in a self-sustainable situation. Do you think that that show is going to become a reality? And if so, will it be sooner, or will we see some kind of a legal spat with Fox first?
Good question. Yeah, I don't, again, have any inside info on any of that. I do think that Alex was talking about the meeting that he had, I think, with Tucker in Florida or somewhere a year or two ago, and they had discussed that they had a sense that this might come down the road or something. Like Alex said something like that. So that's probably what was the motivations to really begin to prepare for the eventual parting of ways, because you just can't have something that's that normie of an outlet, of a news station. And you mentioned some excellent examples, and let's not forget, he's had Colonel Douglas McGregor on. He's had people questioning the Ukraine debacle, and so that's really also red flags for the establishment. So I think that's all what I was saying was contributed to it. And I think they knew that. And, Alex said, oh, I told him a year or two ago that they're going to let him go. And so I would say so. I don't know anything about legal spats. So that I can't say anything about that. But I mean, I think that's just, all the better to go do your own thing. I mean, he probably felt held back, from things he wanted to say. I know there was footage about January 6th that they wanted to put out that there was really forces trying to get them to not do it, the full footage. So I think a lot of things that combined to bring about this departure. But you and I, but we've been doing our own media for a long time. We know that it's a lot better than the working under some corporate banner or some other power that's always trying to control what you say.
Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and what you just watched was a small sample of an hour-long interview I did with Jay Dyer of Jay's Analysis. And that's only half of the premium this week. I've got another great one with Stuart J. Hooper. Last week, Zach Voorhees. The week before that, Alicia Powell, Wayne Dupree. Can't forget about Sloan Newsday, and you support the broadcast, so consider it. redvoicemedia.com/uncensored, $10 a month, just $1 to try. So throw out the buck for the first week. Check out all of those exclusives and think to yourself, do I want to support this for $10 a month, or get the discount and lock it in for an entire year at $100, save the $20 and support this program that's giving you 8+ hours of material free a week. And that's not even the rest of the network that runs almost 12 hours a day. So guys, I love you. Consider it over at redvoicemedia.com/uncensored.